Welcome, gearheads and cinema lovers, to a high-octane episode of Interesting People on Quaver TV. Tonight, we're putting the pedal to the metal and blazing down memory lane with one of the most iconic vehicle-centric film franchises of all time, Smokey and the Bandit. Buckle up, because we're about to take you on a wild ride through a trail of twisted metal, exploring the vehicular carnage left in the wake of Burt Reynolds and his crew across all three Smokey and the Bandit films. We'll be talking muscle cars, magnificent mustaches, and the mayhem that ensues when you mix fast cars with faster wits. So grab your CB radio, watch out for Smokey, and let's put the hammer down. Our journey begins in 1977 with the release of the original Smokey and the Bandit. Directed by stuntman-turned-director Hal Needham, this film wasn't just a box office smash. It was a cultural phenomenon that left a trail of wrecked patrol cars and shattered box office records in its wake. At the heart of this automotive orchestra of destruction was the stunning 1977 Pontiac Trans Am, piloted by the charismatic Burt Reynolds as Beau, Bandit, Darville. Let's talk about Burt for a moment, shall we? With his rakish charm, that iconic mustache, and a laugh that could melt hearts faster than his Trans Am could hit 60, Reynolds was the perfect choice for the Bandit. He used charisma and sex appeal, making it entirely believable that he could outrun the law and win hearts with equal ease. Reynolds wasn't just driving the Trans Am, he was making love to it with every gear shift and power slide. But Bandit wasn't alone on this wild ride. Riding shotgun was Sally Field as Carrie, aka Frog. Field brought a perfect blend of sass and sweetness to the role, creating a dynamic with Reynolds that was as electric as the Trans Am's spark plugs. Their on-screen chemistry was palpable, adding a romantic subplot that gave heart to this high-speed hijinks. And let's not forget Jerry Reed as Cletus, Snowman, Snow, Bandit's faithful truck-driving sidekick. Reed's good old boy charm and musical talents, he also performed the film's catchy theme song, Eastbound and Down, provided the perfect counterpoint to Reynolds' swagger. Plus, who could forget Fred, the basset hound with a face only a trucker could love. This motley crew formed the heart of the film, giving audiences characters to root for as they embarked on their beer-running adventures. But the real star of Smokey and the Bandit, at least in terms of vehicle carnage, was the seemingly endless parade of law enforcement vehicles that ended up as roadside wreckage. The film features an astounding array of vehicular destruction, with police cars from multiple states meeting their demise in increasingly spectacular fashion. From simple fender benders to cars launched into the air, flipping over, or crashing into everything from trees to buildings, the film was a symphony of automotive destruction. One of the most memorable scenes involves a pile-up of police cars on a bridge, creating a makeshift roadblock that the Bandit, of course, manages to evade. This scene alone accounts for damage to at least a dozen vehicles, with squad cars crumpled like beer cans at a frat party. Another standout moment comes when Bandit leads a group of police cars off-road, resulting in a cloud of dust and a field full of wrecked patrol vehicles. The film's climax, featuring a mass chase with hundreds of law enforcement vehicles in pursuit, undoubtedly added significantly to the overall damage tally. While exact numbers are hard to come by, it's estimated that somewhere between 50 to 100 vehicles were damaged or destroyed during the making of the first Smokey and the Bandit. That's a lot of taxpayer dollars going up in smoke, all in the name of entertainment. Of course, we can't talk about law enforcement in Smokey and the Bandit without mentioning the incomparable Jackie Gleason as Sheriff Buford T. Justice. Gleason's portrayal of the foul-mouthed, perpetually frustrated sheriff was a comedic tour de force. His relentless pursuit of the Bandit, punctuated by colorful insults and threats, provided the perfect foil for Reynolds' cool customer. Gleason's patrol car took quite a beating throughout the film, serving as a four-wheeled punching bag for the Bandit's antics. The success of the first film inevitably led to sequels, each attempting to up the ante in terms of stunts and vehicle destruction. Smokey and the Bandit 2, released in 1980, saw the return of our favorite characters, this time transporting an elephant across the country. While the charm of the original was somewhat diluted, the sequel certainly didn't skimp on the vehicle carnage. One of the most outrageous sequences in the second film involves a multi-car pileup that turns into a domino effect, with cars crashing into each other in a chain reaction that seems to go on forever. There's also a memorable scene where a car is launched off a conveniently placed ramp, soaring through the air before crashing spectacularly. The film's climax, featuring a chase through a desert patch and culminating in a dust storm, undoubtedly left more than a few patrol cars worse for wear. While specific numbers for the second film are even harder to pin down, it's safe to say that dozens of vehicles met their maker during the production. The filmmakers seemed determined to outdo the original in terms of stunts and destruction, even if the story and charm couldn't quite match up. By the time Smokey and the Bandit Part 3 rolled around in 1983, the franchise was running on fumes. Burt Reynolds only appeared in a brief cameo, with Jackie Gleason's Sheriff Justice taking center stage. Despite the reduced star power, the film still managed to deliver in terms of vehicle stunts and destruction. One of the most memorable sequences involves a chase through a drive-in movie theater, with cars crashing through the screen and causing chaos among the viewers. Another standout moment features a car being launched over a moving train, a stunt that surely resulted in the vehicle being totaled upon landing. The film's climax, involving a chase across a beach and into the ocean, likely added a few more vehicles to the overall damage tally. While the third installment may not have lived up to its predecessors in many ways, it certainly carried on the tradition of leaving a trail of crumpled metal in its wake. When all is said and done, across all three Smokey and the Bandit films, it's estimated that somewhere between 200 and 300 vehicles were damaged or destroyed. That's a staggering amount of automotive carnage, all in service of delivering high-octane entertainment to the masses. But the impact of Smokey and the Bandit goes beyond just the number of cars it sent to the scrapyard. These films, particularly the first one, tapped into something in the American psyche, a love of rebels, open roads, and muscle cars. The Bandit became a folk hero for a generation, and the black Trans Am with the golden Firebird on the hood became one of the most iconic vehicles in cinema history. The films also showcased the raw power and beauty of practical stunts in an era before CGI became prevalent. Every crunched fender, every spectacular flip, every car sent flying through the air was real, performed by skilled stunt drivers who put their lives on the line to capture these incredible moments on film. As we cruise towards the end of our journey through the twisted metal landscape of Smokey and the Bandit, it's clear that these films left an indelible mark on popular culture. They inspired countless imitators, boosted sales of Trans Ams and CB radios, and gave us a cast of characters that have become part of the American cultural lexicon. So, dear viewers, as the sun sets on our automotive adventure, why not keep the momentum going? Grab your keys, cue up our latest album, Highway Haze, Beats for the Blaze, and hit the open road. Whether you're driving a classic muscle car or a modern-day beast, let the spirit of the Bandit guide you. Just remember to keep one eye on your rearview mirror, you never know when Smokey might be coming for you. Until next time, keep your wheels spinning, your engine purring, and your spirit free. And remember, in the immortal words of the Bandit himself, when you tell somebody something, it depends on what part of the country you're standing in as to just how dumb you are. Good night, and keep on truckin'.